procrastinated on this freaking video. You procrastinated on this freaking video. Hi, this is Spy Guy 888. Let me bring this in closer a little bit. I just got back from a cruise, and I'm still pale as shit. And today, this video is going to be on, if I can Alt-tab over to my script, please. There we go. Jesus Christ. Look behind the scenes, I guess. I'm talking about Far Cry 6 today. And why I'm going to take these... No, you know what? That's bright as hell. And why I still play Far Cry 6, even though anyone that's played it can probably say that it's the worst Far Cry game since New Dawn, I guess. And everyone, new game bad, old game good, and all that fun stuff, all that totally accurate, not at all rose-colored glasses stuff. And I had already written a full script for this video, and it was boring as hell. In the first version of the script, I made a 3,122 word document breaking down the whole story, and it's about half complete. I just realized that that's probably reflecting, whatever, who cares. I'll be honest, I got burnt out on just typing and typing and typing, and it stopped making sense. So instead of trying to work it into something I wanted, I abandoned it for about a month and a half. And then I went back to working on it, and then abandoned it again. And I wanted to get it out before my cruise, which was at the last week of June. And that didn't happen because I got burnt out on it again. And I got lazy, and then it just didn't happen. So here I am, about a week after the cruise, a full week since me being on a boat in the Bahamas. Instead of doing a complete deep dive on the kind of shitty story about revolution and the tendency for governments, regardless of system, to become tyrannical, let's just do what the title says and talk about why I still play Far Cry 6. Before we do actually get started, I just want to say that I really appreciate that you're watching this, and I have to say the cliche thing of if you like this content, like click the like button, and down on the bottom it's a little thumbs up. I don't know if it's backwards, whatever. And subscribe. And if you're new to YouTube and you think subscribe sounds like a subscription, like a paid subscription, like Netflix, where the price keeps constantly going up, YouTube's not like that at all. It's completely free. It just sends you notifications, and you can turn the notifications off, but you should leave those on because then you can see when I post videos. And leave a comment saying whether you like this video or I should do something else, or any game, literally any game, PC, Xbox, PS5, VR. Well, some VR games. Well, it doesn't matter. Suggest any of those games and I'll make a video on it, maybe. The like, subscribe thing, it helps these videos get seen by more people, and that would make me feel better about spending so much time playing video games, and it would prove, people that say I shouldn't do that wrong, and I feel like that would be pretty cool. All right, let's just get into it. So I already said I don't care for the story so much, so that narrows down the good of this game quite a bit. It's Far Cry. The world and the gameplay have always been the best parts of every Far Cry game, and Far Cry 6 is no different. Yara, the country that it takes place on, it's an island, is beautiful. The sand is fantastic. It's not coarse, it's not rough, and it doesn't get anywhere because it's just a texture, but that's boring if I say that. The sand, the sea, the sunrises and sunsets, it all looks straight out of a postcard. Of course, it being a video game, it's not actually paradise. There's a drug-dealing chicken man as president, tyrant, and a revolution being fought across the entire island. There's also an American blockade blocking almost all contact with the outside world. By the way, this island is basically Cuba, so they were like a Soviet ally in the Cold War, and have tons of Soviet uniforms, like Soviet stuff from uniforms to weaponry, from weapons to cars to tanks to airplanes. Why the fuck did I write it like that? Whatever. Even the architecture in the capital looks like that classic Soviet, like, what do you call it, brutalist style, I guess. Also, quick note that all soldiers but the special forces are in dress uniform. because for the most part, the country is not in a full-scale war against like another country. So they try to keep up that appearance. You know how it is, I guess. Which is a nice detail. Now, while all the military have dated but relatively well taken care of equipment, the guerrilla fighters, or guerrilla as they say, because they speak Spanish and I don't, so I'm just going to say guerrilla. Their clothing is they don't. Their clothing is dirty. Their weapons are cobbled together. They have no tanks unless they are stolen specifically by the player and modified. Well, except for that one from the one really cool one called Carlito, but whatever. And their only original aircraft is a go-kart with a paraglider and a rotary grenade launcher strapped to it. That sounds exactly what I expect of a guerrilla revolutionary force, and I think that's fantastic. I feel like that cobbled together sort of style works beautifully. Absolutely fantastic. Something new to this game was the Supremo system. Basically backpacks that give you Overwatch ultimates. And I can't believe I just referenced Overwatch, and I haven't even played the game since like the year after it came out, like 2017? I don't know. We're not talking about Overwatch, we're talking about Far Cry 6. Some of them are kind of stupid, but it's one of those things that if you don't like, just don't press the button. 98% of the game is in first person anyways. The only time you're not in first person is in cutscenes, which is kind of weird that they made third person cutscenes in this one, but it's alright, it's whatever. And if you're in like the home base camp thing, which there's nothing really to do there except for like get quests, like you're not gonna be spending a lot of time in there. Personally, I like them. Some of them. I think some of them are kind of cool. My favorites are the okay, I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation. The Exterminator, which launches a volley of tracking missiles out of what looks like a bunch of Pringles cans, and the Volta, which sends out an EMP that disables all vehicles and security systems, and seems to knock down nearby enemies. But that last part isn't exactly reliable when you could just shoot them or stab them with a machete. There are 7 of these in total, with abilities ranging from a melee-only berserker mode, and the only melee weapon is the machete, so it's kind of, whatever, to a self-revive, a literal self-revive, and you can, it helps you revive teammates or something. I don't play this game with anyone, so I don't have anyone to play with, so I can't really test much beyond the self-revive part of that. To even some sort of magic backpack that allows you to see through walls, which if you combine with a specific weapon, allows you to instantly kill people through walls, pretty sure silently. I need to test it more, but I don't really care enough. Another new addition that seems a bit strange are the Resolver weapons. Cobbled together weapons that seem to be made of just junk, just random BS, but are actually some of the strongest weapons in the whole game. One of my favorites is called La Sorpresa, meaning the surprise, that looks like it was made out of an exhaust pipe and some cursed Mosin Nagant rifle. And it launches sticky explosives. They can either be timed or proximity activated, or you can fire just a single one or just a whole freaking scatter, like a shotgun blast of them. I use them when chased by helicopters, because if you just get one good blast of the single one near the cockpit, it usually just eviscerates the cockpit, the pilot inside, and it usually comes down pretty quickly. There are actually 11 of these, and again, widely varied, ranging from a flamethrower, a poison thrower, I guess, a minigun powered by a lawnmower engine, a regular nail gun without that bit that stops you from shooting unless it's pressed against something, so it's basically just a stealth pistol, a seemingly normal revolving rifle that pairs with that magic backpack from earlier and allows you to shoot through walls and instantly dissolve the bodies. That one's pretty good. All in all, as far as the weaponry itself goes, it's all pretty good. I'd call myself a gun guy with not a whole lot of experience. I just like guns. And I'm very happy with the variety. Only one issue, though. Far Cry 6 has a system like New Dawn with the RPG level-based combat. I don't care for this at all. I don't like it at all. Every weapon can kill, but higher weapons have more slots for upgrades, which are a necessity. One thing that disappoints me immensely is that the FAL, referred to as the right arm of the free world back during the Cold War, used by guerrilla fighters across the globe 1,000 times over, shooting a pretty hefty three. You know what? Hold on. This would be hell of an example. Shooting a pretty hefty 308 bullet, if you can really see that through the glass there. Alright. Shooting a pretty hefty, as you just saw, 308 bullet. Packs about as much punch as a Makarov, the pistol, the really, really small, shitty copy of a 1911 or copy of a freaking whatever, who cares. On the bright side, this game has the AS Val, and the AS Val kicks ass. Something that I really don't like is the ammo system. Default ammo sucks. It's basically worthless. You'll be plinking away at enemies for a just ridiculous amount of time with it. Each enemy will be weak to a certain type of ammunition that you can discover by just scanning them with the phone. You just pull out the little camera app and it gives you all their information, their freaking social security number and shit. I pretty much only use armor piercing though, since it goes through all the helmets. But there's also soft target ammo for unarmored opponents, which I guess is just like hollow point or something. But I don't really feel the need because you can just kill them with a headshot. So it's like, whatever. Incendiary for the poison sprayers, because the poison is extremely combustible. You can just like shoot an incendiary round into their little like backpack tank thing on their back, and it blows them the hell up. Poison for the flamethrower ones. It's like a poison. It's basically an incendiary, but with poison instead of fire. For the flamethrower units, and you're not going to believe this, the same damn thing happens. And blast rounds for targeting vehicles, which are basically just explosive rounds, and they are supposed to be really, really good against vehicles. But I don't really. Again, I pretty much only use the armor-piercing ammo, and then for like anti-vehicle stuff, I use the La Sorpresa gun that just eviscerates vehicles. So, or I use the EMP backpack, the Volta thing, and that shorts out like tanks and stuff, and you can just like either pull the guy out, stab him, and throw a grenade in there, or pull the guy out, stab him, rip him out, and now you have a freaking tank. I freaking love that so much. One mechanic that I freaking love it, is the suppressor system. As anyone knows, in real life, suppressors aren't actually completely quiet, and in this game, they're pretty much silent, as in every other video game, unless you are very close to the target or hit a surface and the enemy hears the impact, which I guess doesn't really count as the suppressor, whatever. However, there is a new heat mechanic. If you shoot for too long, the suppressor overheats and your gunshots are at full volume until you wait for them to cool down again, which I think is awesome. I love it so much. And you can craft better suppressors that stay cooler for longer, and you get like pieces of it from clearing different bases and stuff, like the resources you need for crafting that kind of stuff, for anything you need to craft. You get resources like that just from clearing different bases and looting chests and stuff. But it's kind of strange that the best suppressors are all homemade and not the factory-built ones used by militaries, like the realistic-looking ones. The best ones look like a half-gallon of milk bottle just strapped to the end of a bullet, or strapped to the end of a rifle. Not a bullet, that would not work. Either way, I think it's a fun system, and I think it is infinitely superior over Metal Gear Solid 5's system, where if you just shoot the gun too many times, the suppressor just breaks and you can't use it. You're just loud now. And I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5, not very long, I'm not too far into it, but that shit bugs the hell out of me. I think the heat system is much better than a durability system. Anyways, the clothing is also new. Not that past characters have been naked or anything. No, I just mean the way this clothing system works. Each outfit is separated into pieces, and each piece has some sort of perk that it gives you. Some are simple, boring, like holding more pistol ammo, and some allow you to ignore tripwires and enemy outposts, which is not as boring. Some people don't like this because it locks things that were just in a skill tree in past games. Not that ignoring tripwires was in a skill tree, I don't think. But it locks that kind of stuff behind wearing specific clothing. But this game also has a transmogrification system. Like, you can just change a piece of clothing to look like any other you have unlocked. So there's no really... I don't see the big deal in it. I can understand why people don't like it, but it allows more... Not creativity, I guess is not the right word, but I don't know. I just like it. I don't really mind it. Back to the story, really quick. A lot of people don't like this story, but honestly, no, I'm just kidding. As I said before, this game's story sucks massive, massive balls. The best characters are Juan the Spy. He's like a ex-CIA, ex-KGB badass. Castillo, the president, played by the Chicken Man from that one drug show. For real though, the story, not great. Isn't great at all. Isn't good at all. They're basically a traveling superhero, single-handedly winning a revolution. And nobody can do anything about it, apparently. Except for one time they try to pull your teeth out, but that doesn't even really matter anyways. In the West, you help some farmers that are kind of cool. In the East, you work in the mountains with old guerrillas who fought in the last revolution. And in the middle, you help a rap group called Maximus Matanzas that acts as the... I know I butchered that too. That acts as the main propaganda machine for the revolution. I won't get too deep into the story for each one because it's honestly not worth it. The best one I'll say is probably the West with the farmers. I think that one's pretty cool. But I will say this about the middle area. For any non-Spanish speakers, including myself, I had to look this up on Google Translate just to back up my already existing thoughts about the rap group Maximus Matanzas. You know what that translates to? Maximum killings. And that's how you really bring in some good recruits to your revolution. That's you really want to make sure you have that moral superiority over the tyrannical government by saying, yeah, our main propaganda group is called Maximum Killings. That's how to bring in the good ones. And also, their songs just are not good. I don't like them, at least. I guess it's just not my music. I don't know. I don't really like it at all. Since I accidentally got myself onto the topic of music, let's talk about the radio. It's good. Military vehicles, like their jeeps and trucks, can only play the government-sponsored classical music, while literally everyone else can choose between that and regular, normal, modern music, like a normal, regular, modern person. Most of it is in Spanish, obviously, and I do not speak Spanish, obviously, but I still like it, though, even though I can't understand a single goddamn word. Like, my favorite song is called Canción Bonita, which I'm pretty sure just means pretty song, or something like that, just because I like the way it sounds. And I don't think I can play any of the music because I will be copyright nuked from Orbit. But there are multiple like lists online, like playlists and stuff, if you want to listen to them, or just like lists of the songs on like the wiki, I think. And alright, from here to the end of the video will just be some gameplay, that like the one, the stuff that's been in the background this whole time, hopefully I got that to work. Hopefully highlighting what it is I enjoy about this game. Keep in mind that would be the gameplay, the environment, the guns, for the most part, and the vehicles. Yeah, okay. Hopefully I got all that in the video that I recorded a while ago. Oh well. If you've watched this far into the video, first of all, thank you so much, because I really appreciate that. More watch time is more better, as we always say. If you've enjoyed this video and haven't already clicked the like button, you should, because it's like giving your dog a treat, but instead of too many giving your dog diabetes, it gives me hope that I'm not completely wasting my time. That same goes for subscribing, especially since this is a brand new channel. If I actually post this on the new channel, we'll see how that goes, I guess. Also, go subscribe to my main channel, again, if this isn't the main channel, in which case go subscribe to the new channel. It's supposed to be for this kind of video, but we'll see, I guess. Alright, yeah, enjoy the gameplay. Let me back this up a little bit. Back it up, but not too much. Alright, goodbye.
Te debo mi vida.
Josh.
Found you! I lost him. Find him now.
He was right there.
Encuentren esa porquería.
Watch your head, Danny. Grenade! Grenade! Don't give up! Fucking truck! Fuck that shit.